We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Welcome, everybody, to episode 2 of Vikings Uncensored. I'm Rhino, and with me, as always, my co-host, Lance. Lance, how you doing today?
Hey, not too bad. It's a little fucking windy out there today, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah, I know we got about 40-mile-an-hour winds up here, too. I was afraid my grill was going to go flying off my patio a little while ago.
I was afraid my kid was going to blow away down the street when I took her outside today, so.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody who watched episode number 1. And if you're coming back for episode 2, we want to thank you for sticking with us. And, let's get into it. We got a bunch of news and stuff today, and a couple of new segments. Our interview last week was kind of a special thing. We're not going to do that all the time. We just thought it was a good way to start. So
I think it went pretty well.
I thought so. So I hope you guys all enjoyed that. So we'll start out with the latest Vikings news since we talked last.
They're making it pretty easy for us. I mean, this last week we were pretty busy.
Yeah. So we had 3 new signings. 2 signs and a trade, actually. The first one that we did, we traded a 6th round pick to the Arizona Cardinals for their center, Mason Cole.
We addressed the offensive line.
We did.
Holy smokes.
Now, if you buy into PFF or anything like that, which I technically don't, because I don't like, but
I go by what I see.
Right. Now, offensive line gradings, they're probably a little bit more accurate on that kind of stuff, because it's kind of hard to grade your offensive line guys.
It really is, yeah.
But I mean,
scouting an offensive lineman's pretty difficult.
Yeah, but now his rankings last year weren't all that much higher than Dakota Dozier's were. So, I don't know. Plus, he was second in the league in penalties. He had 8 penalties last year.
I don't know.
And that was playing center. Now, with the Vikings, he's projected to compete for the guard spot.
Right.
So, maybe without quite as much to worry about, pre-snap and everything.
Right, and having the ball in your hands and snapping it to the court. I mean, being a center, it's kind of easy to get a false start called on you here and there. If you just push the ball a little bit or whatnot, and if the ref wants to be a dick, he'll throw a flag on you.
Unnecessary roughness number 16, number 34, 15 yards. So that's 45, 30, how many yards?
Right. You're trying to do all the pre-snap reads and all this other stuff.
Adjustments, calling out the mic and the fucking who you think is going to be blitzing and shit. So
right. So we'll see what happens. He's a body anyway. And he's.
Well, it can't be that hard to upgrade over what we had. So let's just see what he brings to the table and go from there.
Right.
Duke it out during training camp. Somebody.
Yep. So then after that, one of the guys that I said on the show last week that the ship had sailed on signing, lo and behold, Mackenzie Alexander rejoins the team. He's back.
Here. The rumblings were true.
The Mac is back.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back. Tell a friend.
The Mac is back. Return to the Mac.
He basically signed a league minimum deal. It's like 1 year and $900,000. So, it's a great signing. He was
kind of works in our favor. So
it does. I mean, he was one of the 3 cornerbacks we let go after the 2019 season. Mac was the guy I wanted to keep.
I think he was for the majority of Vikings fans. out of that group that left. Yeah,
I think
Mack was
so
a big
too.
man.
I think so too. So, he'll come in and compete with Gladney for the slot position, I'm guessing, but mix between him and Gladney with the dime, and depending on sub packages and things like that.
I was gonna say maybe he'll have plans on running a lot more sub packages this year. Who knows?
Yeah, it's hard to say, but and then after that, we addressed the safety position, getting former Cowboy Xavier Woods on a 1-year, $2.25 million deal.
I think there's a lot of upside to that pickup right there. Honestly,
Yeah,
he's still pretty young.
He is. Yeah, he's 25.
25, gonna be 26. Yeah, of course. I mean, these are the years when you get to be about that age. It's the years you should be hitting your prime, really.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that's the case here.
Now there are some question marks with Woods. I mean, he did have kind of a down year last year, and
that Dallas defense was atrocious. Quite possibly worse than what we had here in Minnesota. So
yeah, I mean they weren't good. But and then I saw on Twitter, I forget who posted it, but there
Sports guy.
Yeah, actually, I think one of the people in the Gallerhorn group posted a picture of the Twitter page
Yeah, I think it was the sports guy was the one that posted it, saying
could
he's
be
out of position and shit.
Well, no, but there was a post I saw that he might tend to take plays off once in a while, and he's admitted that.
Yep, that's the one I was thinking about.
So that's a question. I don't necessarily like that idea so much, but new system, new team. Maybe he'll. It's
hard to stick out when you're the only player on a bunch of, when you're on basically a shitty defense, you got to pick up all the slack for. I don't know. Hopefully he brings his A game.
Yeah, and I mean for $2.5 million, and like I said last week, when you've got Harrison Smith on the one side, you can get by with a league average safety on the other side, which Woods fits that profile or a little bit better than that. So
I believe so too. Yeah.
So I mean, I like the signing. It takes care of another
Hopefully he can come in and produce
position
better than Medial Williams did when he came in.
Yeah, and if he doesn't, I mean, we've only got him on a 1-year deal, so
right. It wouldn't be a big loss. So.
No. So I mean, that's it for our signings. There's still the rumors still going around that we're looking at some other guys. Forrest Lamp. The rumors have kind of cooled on that one a little bit, but
I'd still be all for it. But
I would too. So he's still out there. There's been discussions about geriatric Geno Atkins coming over. After the Bengals released him. He's a Zimmer guy. He played for Mike Zimmer when he was there.
He's been around for a long time.
He's into his 30s, so
he's been consistently a good player though, but like you were mentioning before, he's getting pretty long in the tooth. So and I wouldn't bring him on any more than a 1-year deal if he did come here.
No, and it's got to be a relatively low cost, maybe a highly incentivized deal, X number of sacks or so on and so forth. You bump up
performance enhancing
contract. Not performance enhancing drugs.
Of course,
enhancing contract.
Of course, Star Caps. No.
We got to make sure we have that right, because we don't need it. Yeah, we don't need another one of those.
No, not at all.
And then the third one that's been rumored is center/guard from the Rams, Austin Blythe. There's talk of bringing him in.
There's been talk about bringing him in for a while now. I think.
It's been
basically the beginning of the
kind of a week. The last week it's warmed up a little bit, but So I mean, that's kind of our, as far as the free agency type stuff. Other NFL new. Damn it! Gonna have a drink of water here because that didn't sound very good.
That sounded horrible. That's like some blooper shit right there.
Yeah. So. I just hit puberty.
Right. Anyways.
So anyway, in other NFL news, the NFL is close to officially approving the 17th game.
It's gonna happen.
It'll happen. I mean, they're talking about this much. It's just a matter of time till it's official.
How do you feel about that?
I'm torn.
If you're gonna add a fucking 17th game, take 2 of the preseason games out of there. Don't
Well,
even play the preseason then. You know,
well,
we didn't play it last year.
They're taking out 1 preseason game, so
Oh,
we'd be down to
okay.
3. So
Okay,
it's
so they are taking out a preseason game.
yeah.
Then.
So it's 3 preseasons and 17 regular seasons. Now, the bad part about there being 17 is that for 50% of the league, they're going to get kind of hosed on home versus away every year. So
yeah, because one team's going to get 1 more, and the other teams aren't going to get as much.
right. So eventually this will set the stage to go to 18
And
regular season games.
who likes an odd number? Who likes an odd number on the season?
That's the thing, and teams are going to complain about the fact that, oh, hey, we have to play 9 away games this year versus,
Right.
the other division only has to play 8, so and so. But of course, this year, our 17th game will be the Los Angeles Chargers. So if the crowd is anything like it was the last time we went to LA and played them, it was 50% Vikings fans anyway, if not more.
Yeah.
So that could technically be like a 9th home game for us. So,
well, they're going to be opening their new stadium this year. Right?
They're in SoFi Stadium, or I think it's SoFi Stadium this year.
Okay.
So, and there's a little bit more buzz around the Chargers and stuff now with Justin Herbert and stuff. So,
yeah.
There'll be more Chargers fans, I would assume. I still don't think LA is a big football town, but it's a big media
It's
market.
been tried there now, 4 times? And I mean, each time they get canned, and then they move the fucking team somewhere else. So, well,
yeah, well, we'll see what it is. They got a nice, shiny, brand new stadium out there. So
you got the money, let it happen, I guess.
Yep. So, I mean, that's the biggest thing on the news. One big thing I see with all of our free agency signings and stuff so far is, other than the Mason Cole trade, we've pretty much completely ignored, again, probably one of the worst areas of our team, which seems to be a recurring theme with this organization, is the damn O-line.
See, now, I believe, and I know I've talked to you about this off air before.
Mm-hmm.
I think we hit the free agency hard on defense. Come draft day, it's going to be offense. I mean, we've done it before with the other side.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's what their plan is on this, but we all know Mike Zimmer, when 14 rolls around, if there's an edge rusher sitting there, he's going to be pounding on the damn table to take an edge rusher, when there could also be, really good offensive or left tackle sitting there,
Right. I think it's more important,
it's
honesty.
Well, offensive line is absolutely more important. I mean,
I don't care if we have to take fucking 10 offensive linemen in the draft this year. Let's get it right.
Right. I mean, we're paying a quarterback $35 million next year and 45 the year after that.
It's what it is. Let's do something to fucking protect his ass.
Yeah, I mean, and we're basically giving him the starting offensive line for Sister Mary's of the Christian Holy Rosary Junior College.
That's a terrible idea.
Right.
Zimmer said 2 years ago that the offensive line wasn't good enough and they were going to have to do something about it. They didn't do anything about it last year.
They didn't do nothing about it.
And now it's worse because Riley Reif is gone.
Well, fucking Mike Remmers and Riley Reif weren't the answer to begin with in the first place.
Well, Remmers shouldn't have been a guard. I mean, Remmers played better at tackle. He did at guard, but we have
playing musical chairs on the offensive line is not the way to go about business.
No, but that's what we've been doing for the last how damn many years. I mean, it's pick a name out of a hat. Oh, hey, you're left tackle. Oh, you're gonna go to guard. Oh, who the fuck is Brett Jones? I don't know.
Right? Yeah, let's sign him 8 fucking times.
Yeah, and cut him 9.
Yeah. I can't believe he's agreeing to even come back.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, if he gets to sit on the couch and eat potato chips on game day, then I guess why not?
Well, yeah, I mean, $900,000 a year to be invisible is a pretty good gig if you can get it. I mean, I'd do it.
That's you pop in the Twilight theme right there.
Yep. It's there's more confirmed sightings of Bigfoot than there are of Brett Jones playing out on the
X-Files Twilight theme song right there for that.
Yep. So, but anyway, we'll move on here. The next thing we're going to talk about today is kind of you know, with the draft and everything coming up, we're less than a month away now. And actually, I think we're exactly a month away. Today's the 29th, isn't it, as we record?
I do believe so. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're exactly a month away as we record on Monday here. So what we did was kind of went in and looked at some of the quote unquote big name draft gurus and kind of saw what they were bringing out as far as, you know, who they were slotting to the Vikings in the first round. We didn't go deep.
Mel Kiper.
Didn't go deeper into it because, you know, most people don't do anything more than the first round, and the ones that do are, you know, more.
They must have a lot of time on their hands.
Yeah, they're more guys like you and I that just go play with a draft simulator and see who falls. And oh, hey, I've heard of this name before. Let's put him in there, kind of a thing. But
right.
So the first one that we ended up with,
coming from Kiper,
the mock father himself from ESPN, Mel Kiper Jr. He's projecting that we're going to trade up to number 9 with the Broncos and select Penei Sewell.
Yeah, I tell you what, trading up in the first round, especially for an offensive lineman, takes a lot of balls. And I wouldn't be against that because Sewell is a huge talent coming out of college.
He is. No,
but I don't see us trading up before I see us trading down before I see us trading up, honestly.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Now, I know after I saw this, went in and started doing a little bit of film breakdown. I came across a one from Brian Baldinger. And if you want to see some really good offensive line breakdowns, check out Brian Baldinger's stuff. He does a really good job. I mean, you know, I
like Baldy too.
He played offensive line, you know, so he knows what he's talking about.
Got some fucked up hands.
Yeah. But he showed some clips of Penei Sewell playing against higher level talent.
Yeah. And
there were a couple, 3 times, you know, just in his little short spiel there where Sewell got knocked down. So, you know, according to Baldy, he's not a finished product. You know, it's not, a lot of it's stuff that can't be corrected, but
everybody was high on Khalil coming out of college too, and he fucking sucked ass. He had the one good year, his rookie year, and then
yeah, I think part of Khalil's problem was his you know, that injury kind of screwed him up, and he was never the same again after that. But
yeah, I guess I'll give him that excuse.
You know, I still think Sewell's going to go top 5. I got him figured as going to Cincinnati because, you know, they need all the help they can get to keep Joe Burrow upright because they obviously couldn't do it last season.
Right. I believe this class coming out, it's pretty deep when it comes to offensive linemen in general. So that's a good plus for us.
Yep. So then the next one now is Pete Prisco from CBS. He has us taking Rashawn Slater, the tackle out of Northwestern.
Now, I am a big Slater advocate. I would be more than pleased.
I like Slater. And, you know, like I said, when I was doing some of this stuff, I went in and did some film watching. I watched the game. You know, he didn't play this past year. He opted out with the COVID stuff.
Right.
But back in 2019, I watched the tape against Ohio State, and he basically shut Chase Young down.
Yeah, he's nasty.
He's
big body, and he can move.
Yep. Now, I know there's a lot of people saying that he could project into guard, but
that's where I see him.
You know, after watching what he did to Chase Young, I mean, and Chase Young is considered one of the better guys coming out last year. Right. One of the best young pass rushers in the league. You know, I'd give him a shot at left tackle first, personally, you know, and see how it goes. You know, you can always move him in later on if he struggles. But I think that's
basically have him and Cleveland battle it out at left tackle, and whoever doesn't make it, drop him into the left guard.
I think I would put if we draft a left tackle, I'm keeping Cleveland at guard.
Okay.
Over at right guard, you know, and then, you know, Slater or whoever, one of these other ones, you know, gets the first shot at left tackle, and, you know, and it, you know, you may play Cleveland there a little bit, you know, during the preseason just to kind of see what you got with him there too. Because I mean, that's what we originally drafted him for, but
yeah. Anyways, moving along here.
Moving on. The next one we got is we have 3 people picking this player. It's edge rusher Kwity Paye out of Michigan. We have Bucky Brooks from the NFL Network. We have Glenn Morgan, who I'm not real familiar with, but he's on NBC Sports.
Right.
And then Todd McShay from ESPN.
I like Todd and Bucky.
He can come off the edge. He does some certain things. Todd. Wait, take a look at his production.
But, you know, and this was kind of in my little mini rant earlier, you know, about Zimmer pounding the table to get another edge rusher at 14, which we all know he's going to do. But
he's going to want that defensive pick.
But, you know, we
need to get that offensive line back.
Spielman needs to put his foot down and say, no, Zim, we gave you everything you wanted in free agency.
Right.
Now we need to fix the offensive line because that's our big glaring weakness right now. So, you know, and with Kwity Paye, I mean, he's a good player, but I know there are some rumored red flags out there. I guess, you know, I'm not quite sure. It haven't been divulged what they are, but I've heard 2 or 3 guys say there's some red flags to him. Some
speculation,
attitude type stuff or something like that. I'm not quite sure what it is, you know, and I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that know a lot more than me that could maybe
elaborate a little bit.
Elaborate. Yep. Right. But so moving on after that, then we go to Walter Football, who has been doing this stuff for a long time.
Right up there with Kuiper.
They've got a lot of breakdowns and stuff. They have us taking another edge rusher. This one's out of Miami, Jalen Phillips. Now, you know, there's also Gregory Rousseau out of Miami is the other one. He opted out, but Phillips played this year.
Right.
And
I just don't see us taking edge rusher.
That's the thing. I honestly don't want to take an edge rusher in the first round. I mean, if we do, we do, I guess, but that would not be my pick.
Mine either. No, I'd rather just trade down and get your second rounder back for sure.
Yeah, if that's the case, that would be my guess. So then now the next one that we've got Mike Renner from my favorite place, Pro Football Focus. Also Matt Miller, formerly of the Draft Scout, now with ESPN. They both got us taking offensive tackle out of Virginia Tech, Christian Darrisaw.
Oh man, that'd be good too. I
now,
like him as well.
And you know, everybody's pretty much saying Darrisaw is probably the second best tackle in this draft behind Sewell. So,
and he plays with a lot of nastiness.
Yeah, he does. And that, you know, and that's one thing, you know, we've been sorely missing for a long time is nasty on this team.
Right. Ain't nobody afraid to line up across from anybody on our offensive line right now.
No. So, but yeah, I mean, I like the tape I saw in Darrisaw. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot, you know, where
a lot of body there too.
Yep. Not a whole lot where, you know, he was getting beat on too much.
No, you know,
I did see on a couple plays, it seemed like he was a little slow to come out of his stance, but you know, that's correctable. Yeah. And it's maybe nitpicking a little bit, you know, and the play speaks for itself with him pretty much. So, I mean, you know, if we took him, I'd be
tape or whatever. Yeah. I'd be happy with it
I'd be very happy with Darrisaw if we got him. Then the next one, I kind of like this coming up pick. Daniel Jeremiah from NFL Network has us taking wide receiver Devontae Smith out of Alabama.
I would be okay with that too.
Sorry, Ted Glover, he just scored on Ohio State again here like 2 minutes ago. So, you know, he scored 35 touchdowns against Ohio State in the national championship game. So,
right.
I think it was 6 or something like that. But I forget.
He did a dirty.
I forget what the number was, but I mean, he had over 200 yards receiving in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I would love this pick because it would be the way the offense should be going, you know, in 21st century, 2021 type NFL offense. But, you know, if
you get somebody like Devontae Smith, you line him outside with Justin Jefferson and you have fucking Thielen play the Wes Welker role.
Yeah. Perfect. I mean, it'd be 3 deep 2.0 right there. I mean,
yeah.
But, you know, if Zimmer's going to hold fast to play his, you know, 1994-esque offensive philosophy,
just balance, man. Just throw some balance out there.
Then the third wide receiver pick there isn't. It's probably a wasted pick, although if Zimmer's not here next year, then we'd still have him on a rookie contract. So, but you know, I really don't see us taking a wide receiver. It would be awful tempting, and I'd like it if we did. You know,
it'd be a surprise
if he's there, you know, or Lamar.
If he's there, that's
Lamar Chase or somebody like that.
Yeah, right there.
Oh, it absolutely is. Now the last one that we've got for this week, and I haven't even heard any buzz of this guy being in the first round, but now two guys from the Draft Network, Joe Marino and Jordan Reed, both have us picking Samuel Cosmi. I believe that's how you say it. Yeah. Not Cosby. Cosmi.
Oh.
No pudding pops.
Jello pudding pops, frozen pudding on a stick.
I want one.
You want one?
Yeah.
Well, I know that little kids love pudding pops because they taste fantabulous, and mothers love it because they know it's made with the goodness of real Jello pudding. But I don't know about a kitty cat.
Meow.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not going to do a Bill Cosby imitation.
That was a great Bill Cosby impression.
Oh, I'm sure it was. But every place I've seen Cosmi is like a mid-second round pick. And even the Draft Network has him as number 53 on their board. So I'm not sure why they have us taking him, unless, you know.
Mocks, man, they stress me out.
Yeah. And the surprising thing is I didn't see Vera-Tucker on, you know, none of these guys put him down. And, you know, if I would definitely be taking him over Cosmi now. Granted, I don't know a whole lot about
Cosby,
but you know, the Vera-Tucker thing was, you know, earlier on, there was a lot of places mocking him to us. Now this past week is, you know, like I said, at least in the big name drafts that I looked at, nobody had him going to us.
Hey, I tell you what, you throw enough mocks together, you're bound to get one right.
Well, yeah, that's just it, you know, and you get some of these people that do, you know, 17 mocks a week. You know, there's some Fox Sports people and stuff that are on mock 12.0 or whatever.
Right.
You know, so.
I told you, mock 3, that's who they were going to pick.
Right. And, you know, and half the time when all these players end up rising and falling, it's because these guys just need to mix up their draft boards and stuff. And it's, nobody wants to see the same mock draft for 12 weeks. I mean,
at the end of the day, the whole draft is just a roll of the dice.
It is,
you know,
but I guess we'll see what happens. You know, we'll keep checking on this. If there's anything interesting or new that pops up, you know, we'll visit it here in future episodes, but
of course we got you guys.
We got it covered. What lead up to the draft. Like I said, we got a month to go. So we've got 4 more. Well, you'll get 3 more episodes of us, because the 4th episode will come out on a Friday, you know, and the draft starts on Thursday, unless we decide to pop it out ahead of time.
Up that week. We'll switch it up that week.
We'll see how it goes, but
maybe we'll put out the episode the day before the draft.
Yeah. So stay tuned for that. We'll keep everybody posted on if there's any time changes.
Right. All you fans out there.
Yeah. All right. So the next thing, now we're going to go on to our next segment is one we gave out last week and we kind of enjoy it. So we're going to bring it back in again this week. It's called our weekly.
What the hell?
All right. So our weekly What the Hell segment this week, kind of toyed around.
I'm sure everybody's heard about this.
Yeah. I mean, you lived under a rock if you hadn't, but there was some new information that came out on Monday, which is today when we're filming. So we thought it would be a good one to bring out, but our What the Hell for this week is the continuing saga of one Deshaun Watson down in Houston with all of these lawsuits are coming out now. There were okay. There were 16 lawsuits as of Friday, and now today 3 more came out.
Wow.
So there's 19 now total.
Man, you know, I like to imagine, you know, innocent until proven guilty, but you get 19 people making accusations against you.
Yeah, it doesn't sound, and no.
Thank God we did not bring his ass here, because oh my God.
Yeah, that would be a thing. We trade 4 number 1 picks for a guy that's going to end up playing football with Darren Sharper.
We might as well just fold up the franchise and call it quits at that point.
Yeah, he's going to be playing football with Darren Sharper in the sequel to The Longest Yard coming up there pretty soon.
Welcome to Allenville, superstar.
You're gonna put together a team of inmates to play against my guards.
Right.
But anyway, of these 19 lawsuits, they were all alleging sexual misconduct from massage therapists.
Oh, she loved dirty talk. Totally into it. She'd be like, yeah, let's screw. God, it was so dirty. She'd be like,
Oh, me so horny. Me love you long time.
so.
And two of them.
I'm sorry. I shouldn't be going like that.
Yeah. And two of them were including sexual assault. And now today, of the new ones that came out, it was listed that Watson has been going in now and deleting his Instagram posts because there was stuff before where there was correspondence between Watson and some of these therapists on Instagram. Now he's going in and deleting some of that stuff.
When you delete it, it's still going to be there.
Well, yeah, they can still get it back. But I mean, if you've got nothing to hide, why are you deleting this stuff? I mean, that only makes you look guilty.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
right.
And then
reminds me of Hernandez deleting the shit off of his fucking security cameras and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
and then anyway, in the same one that was alleging that, there's also an allegation that he's been contacting these massage therapists, not necessarily the ones that are filing the suits. It wasn't specified that way, but going in an attempt to try to settle with these people.
That doesn't look good either.
It doesn't. No, also doesn't look good. And why is Watson doing that himself? I mean, he's hired
trying to save his ass.
Yeah, but he's hired a high-priced lawyer. He hired Rusty Hardin, one of the big-time sports lawyers. You know, he's represented guys like Wade Boggs and Roger Clemens with the steroid stuff in baseball. Right. He's represented Scottie Pippen, Kurt Busch of NASCAR fame when he had a assault deal against his ex-wife, and one Adrian Peterson. Rusty Hardin was Adrian's lawyer during the whole child abuse deal that we, unfortunately went through back several years ago.
Yeah.
Now Hardin has come out and said, that these are meritless claims, and one of the plaintiffs allegedly was trying to blackmail Watson on this. Okay, now if it was one or maybe two,
right,
I could maybe buy the whole, blackmail or baseless claims type, people looking for the 15 minutes of fame. But when there's 19,
you get to have 5, 6, 19
people,
coming out with stories. There's gotta be some truth.
I mean, they always say when there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a pretty good blaze going right now.
Yeah. Something is there's something in the water there for sure.
Yeah. So, I don't know what's going on there, but you look at, how quickly fortunes can turn on somebody like this. A month and a half ago, whatever it was, Deshaun Watson was a big name. Everybody in the NFL was trying to trade for him.
Everybody's wanting their hands on him.
Everybody wanted him. I mean, I know a lot of Vikings fans wanted him. I'd have loved to have had him. I mean, he's a hell of a player. But, you start looking at this stuff, that they were going to be needing like 4 first-round picks and starting players and all this other stuff. Can you imagine? That would have been the most Vikings thing ever.
What the fuck is Houston going to do?
I mean, he's going to end up on the commissioner's exempt list.
Yeah, he will
at the start of the season. But Houston, if Houston was smart, which we all know that they're not, Houston's one of the most dysfunctional franchises in the league.
Yeah.
If they were smart, they would have traded him a month ago and got that haul and got rid of this headache, and he'd have been somebody else's problem.
They would have been geniuses.
Yeah. I mean, granted, people look at, you guys knew about this. Well, I don't.
That could go into play too, for sure.
I don't think they did.
Right.
I could be wrong, but before, when you were talking about, getting multiple first round picks and players and everything else, you couldn't trade him for a half-eaten cheese sandwich right now.
No.
He's toxic. Nobody's going to touch him at the moment. This whole deal is going to have to play itself out. See what happens.
His time to be traded has came and gone. So
yep. So like it or not, Houston's stuck with him right now.
Yep. I feel bad for him, but
Yeah,
Fucking A.
and I mean, right now their backup is Tyrod Taylor. So
What the hell Deshaun wants in?
Basically, Tyrod Taylor is going to be their starting quarterback at the beginning of the season. I'm guessing here, but you know,
until somebody comes and takes Tyrod Taylor's job away again.
Yeah, or well, that's because he got punctured in the lung from a cortisone shot by one of the trainers. But that's neither here.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's neither here nor there. But so anyway, that's our what the hell for the week. We'll come up with somebody new for next week, and we'll keep this thing going because it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got another new segment for you guys this week. You know, we all know all the players and stuff as they go along, and as we watch, you know, some of us, you know, a lot longer than others, depending upon, you know, how old you are. You know, like me, I can remember back into the, you know, right around 1980 thereabouts when I really first started watching football. Lance, I know you're a little bit younger than me, so you're
95, 94, about there, about when I started really getting into it.
So we thought it would be kind of interesting to take a walk down memory lane, kind of look back at some of the players that have played for the Vikings over the years and find out what they're doing now, you know, where they are, what's going on, things like that. So we're calling this our Where Are They Now segment.
Where are they now?
All right. So our Where Are They Now player for this week is former Vikings cornerback Cedric Griffin. And Lance, you got the scoop on what Cedric's doing now, so take it away.
Well, I was able to go onto the interwebs and scrape up some information on Cedric. Some of you may know Cedric was drafted in the second round of the 2006 draft, where he played for us until 2011. Another tidbit was that Cedric Griffin was actually drafted, was actually the highest drafted defensive back that we took in the draft since Orlando Thomas in 95, where he was selected 42nd. Griffin unfortunately suffered injuries to both of his knees while he played here. The first knee injury coming in the infamous NFC Championship game of 09, where Brett Favre got the fuck kicked out of him.
Bonnygate.
Dude, that was horrible.
Greg Williams can burn in hell.
Oh, I fucking hate Greg Williams.
Oh.
Anyways, so, and then the other knee injury came about a year later, unfortunately, and that's basically what closed the door on Griffin's career. He did go on to play in Washington for another year, and then he hung up the cleats. Anyways, continuing on, Griffin is currently married and has 4 children. He's honestly still pretty young, 38 years old. From the moment he received, excuse me, getting a little ahead of myself. From the moment he received his first bonus while signing with the Vikings, he started investing that into certain businesses around the area, and he has owned a gym, a luxury boat rental service on Lake Travis, multiple rental properties, and a barbecue food truck, which he still runs to this day. He is currently in the Austin, Texas area. He's been down there for a while, and he partners with a guy that he met while playing football with the Minnesota Vikings. He stays involved with the youth there in Austin and tries to set a good example and let kids know if they work hard and that, well, it's true, anything is possible. Last year, during the pandemic, Cedric and some of his colleagues planned an Easter egg hunt for the youth of the area. And in addition to having an Easter egg hunt, Cedric and his partner's barbecue food truck has been providing lunches for kids in the area for some relief to the families affected by the pandemic. Griffin was quoted as saying, "Yeah, we want to be profitable, but at the end of the day, people are hurting, and we want to let them know that they're not alone." And that's about what all I was about to dig up on Griffin.
It's, it's nice to see guys like this that, when they first get into that money, they don't just,
it doesn't lead to bad things.
They don't go hog wild and, out
end up broke,
making it rain and all this other stuff, and
a lot of guys do. A lot of guys end up broke.
Which I mean, it comes from, a lot of these players come from nothing, and you get all of a sudden you get a dump truck full of money backed up to your front door, dumped on. It's very easy to do that.
Yep. And then, in my opinion, Cedric, he was honestly for a good 3 years there was a good bright spot on our defense.
He was a good player,
considering the defensive backs that we had at about that time.
Yeah. We were
Tyrell Johnson possibly back there. I don't quite remember. And Hitman wasn't here yet, I don't believe. No, maybe
Josh Robinson type era. Maybe.
Yep.
Some of those wonderful.
It wasn't very good there for a while as far as the defensive backs went.
No.
So he was one of my favorites coming out, and he played well for us for a good handful of years. And well, now you guys all know what he's doing. Wants a barbecue, you head down to Austin and look for his barbecue truck.
Yep. Look for Cedric Griffin's food truck.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know when I'll be in Austin next, but I'll sure check it out and get down there. So anyway, that's about all we've got for this week. We want to thank everybody once again for tuning in for second episode. Hopefully
the longer we go along, the more comfortable we'll get. I'm starting to feel pretty good every time I come on the video now. So
and like I said, neither one of us are pros at this, so we're learning as we go along too. So
well, the best is yet to come. I can guarantee that. So keep watching, keep staying tuned, and man, you go on where to come to get your Vikings news.
Yep. So like I said, we want to thank everybody. So take her out, Lance. We'll see you guys Friday, and then again the following Friday, because episode 3 will be coming.
That's right. We will see you guys all next week, and don't forget to watch Drew and Ted and Vikings Report. We'll see
on Saturday mornings. Catch us on Friday nights and watch those guys on Saturday mornings. You got your weekend all planned out.
You bet. There you go.
All right. Have a good one, guys. We'll see you next
See you
week.
guys later.